G'day folks, Lone Mojo here. In this video, I'm going to be taking a look at Cyberpunk 2077. I'm going to be focusing mainly on a shotgun build based on the character of Rebecca from the Edgerunners TV series. However, this build also utilizes other firearms, so it's a pretty utilitarian build in general. So for character stats, I've put body and reflexes both to 18. I've put technical ability to 20, and the remaining points went into cool. The order in which you purchase these will be dependent on the weapon you want to run. So I'm running shotgun in this build. So I started with strength and then went into cool, followed by reflexes. Now, because I'm basing this build on Rebecca, obviously I'm going to use her shotgun guts. If you're not sure where to find it, check out the video on the timestamp, and that'll show you how to get it. So diving into the strength tree, firstly we're going to talk about athletics. Firstly, we've got steel shell. This will increase your armor by 10%, nice little piece of durability. You're going to get up close and personal quite a lot, so this really helps. Likewise, I take Invincible to give you that bonus 15% health. Divided Attention lets you reload your weapon while you're sprinting, sliding, or vaulting. This is really important, especially with guts, because it takes a long time to reload, so you can be focusing on moving around the battlefield while doing this. And finally, we take Multitasker, and this will let you shoot while sprinting, sliding, or vaulting. Next, we're going to look at the Annihilation tree, and obviously this is the one that's focused mainly on shotguns, so I'm pouring most of my skill points here. So first up, we've got Speed Demon. This will make you do more damage the faster you're moving, and this will combo with some of our other skills as well. And it kind of focuses its build to something that makes you want to fight on the move. Next up is Momentum Shift. After you defeat an enemy with a shotgun, you're going to get a burst of movement speed by 20% for 10 seconds, and this feeds back into Speed Demon really nicely. Pump It Louder is great for reducing recoil on your shotgun. However, it's kind of lost on guts in particular, but if you're going for other shotguns, it's great. Heavy Lead will let you knock back enemies with more force, and this will tie into some of our other skill perks we'll get later. Popping Off will give you a 50% chance of dismembering enemies, and again, this will tie into one of our other skills. Maniac. When entering combat using a shotgun or a light machine gun, your movement speed is increased by 20% for 10 seconds. Again, this ties back into Speed Demon. Hail of Bullets. This is just a pure 10% damage increase, and it's probably the first skill you're going to pick up in this tree. Blood Rush will increase your movement speed by 10% when you're carrying a shotgun or a light machine gun. Skeet Shooter is another good one when you're in a hectic firefight and enemies are repositioning themselves. You're going to do a bit more damage to them as they're moving around. Hit the Deck is going to increase the damage to stagger and knock down enemies, which ties back into Heavy Lead quite nicely. In Your Face is just going to reduce the reload times of shotguns and light machine guns. This is pretty important. They take a while to reload. Anything that we can do to improve that helps. Bulldozer increases your crit chance with shotguns and light machine guns by 5%. This is great because it applies to the individual pellets, so one shot with guts and you'll get a bunch of crits out of it. And lastly, we've got Unstoppable, which means that when you dismember an enemy using a shotgun, it's going to increase your rate of fire, and this can stack up to 3 times. Okay, so that was for the shotguns, but I'm going to take a look at the assault rifle build now. I actually run them both, and it kind of fits the character of Rebecca pretty well. She does have a lot of weaponry at her disposal. So let's jump over and have a look at assault. And the first one I pick up is Named Bullets. It's going to increase your crit damage with rifles and submachine guns by 20%. Duck Hunter will increase your damage to moving enemies, similar to Skeet Shooter. Eagle Eye is going to reduce the time that you need to look down the sights of your guns, so you can quickly swap to firing from the hip and then back to down the sights. Bullseye is pretty straightforward. It does a bonus damage when using the rifles. Skull Skipper gives you less recoil as you get successive headshots, so get a few of those, that's pretty handy. Shoot, Reload, and Repeat. When you defeat an enemy with a rifle, you're going to get a reduced reload time, again focusing on having that damage uptime. Bullet Jock, just more damage, 10% bonus to damage, pretty handy. Feel the Flow, reduce the reload time of assault rifles and submachine guns by 20%, so this is going to stack with Shoot, Reload, Repeat really nicely. Recoil Wrangler, reduce the recoil of rifles and submachine guns by 5%. It's going to make you more accurate and you're more likely to proc that Skull Skipper bonus as well. Executioner is going to do 25% more damage to enemies whose health is above 50%, really good for bursting someone down quickly. And finally, Long Shot. Your rifle is going to do more damage the further you're located from enemies. So this overall build is more meticulous than the shotgun build. You're going to probably take your time, stay back a little bit, but then you've got the burst firepower to really bring down enemies quickly. Okay, so we'll move over to the cool skill trees. And firstly, in ninjutsu, there are only 2 skills that I take from here. The first being From the Shadows. When you enter combat, your crit chances going up to 20% for 7 seconds. This is useful for everyone. The second one is Assassin. This is just going to mean you're dealing 15% bonus damage to humans. Pretty universal skill. Next up, we've got Cold Blood. And the first one we're going to get is the Cold Blood skill itself. This is going to give you a bonus to movement speed and can stack. So straight off the bat, synergizes really well with the shotgun build. Then we get Coagulant, which means instead of losing Cold Blood after the time runs out, it deteriorates. So you're going to keep that Cold Blood bonus for longer. Frozen Precision is an increase to the headshot damage by 5% per stack of Cold Blood. This is good for either build, but really ties into the assault rifle. Icy Veins is going to reduce your recoil by 6% per stack. Again, probably better for the assault rifle build, but still useful for the shotguns as well. And Easy Out, when your Cold Blood is active, increase range weapon damage by 20% to enemies within an area of 5 meters. This ties into the shotgun build particularly because you're going to be right up close with that. Now lastly, we jump over to the technical tree and we jump straight over to engineering. These skills are about buffing weapons we've got with things like technical abilities and power shots and that sort of thing. Firstly, with Gun Whisperer, fully charged tech weapons don't shoot automatically, so you can store the shot up and fire it off when you want. This one's probably more for the assault rifle build. Lock and Load will increase the reload time of smart weapons, and this will stack with your other reload speeds. Play the Angles. Ricochet deals an additional 50% damage. This will tie in with some of the other abilities that we've got down further in the tree to help you maximize those ricochets. Lickety Split. Tech weapon charge times are reduced by 20%, so that's going to help you get those shots off quicker. Up to 11 allows you to charge tech weapons up to 100% capacity, so they're going to do more damage. Tesla increases the charge multiplier for tech weapons by 55%, again more damage. Fuck All Walls reduces the charge amount needed for a tech weapon to penetrate walls by 30%. This is again more damage more quickly. Draw the Line. Now you need the ballistics coprocessor cyberware installed, but if you've got that, you'll be able to get a projection of the bullet's trajectory when you're doing a ricochet, so you can pull off some really cool shots with that. Blade Runner is just more damage to drones, mechs, and robots. It's pretty self-explanatory. Lastly, we have Uber Charge. Fully charged tech weapons deal 30% more damage. So those are the skills. We'll move over to cyberware now, and there's a lot of freedom here, and I won't go into every option I've got, but some of the important ones I use are Heal on Kill, which will restore health after defeating an enemy. I take the blood pump and the bio monitor. This is just to keep you in the fight for longer. And the bioconductor is just about getting your cyberware to cool down quicker. The Kerenzikov is great for giving you the ability to shoot while sliding, but it also slows down time for 2 seconds. Now, I don't use the Sandervesten in this build. You probably could, and it's probably the superior option, but I was trying to theme this around playing as Rebecca, and she doesn't have a Sandy, so I don't take it. This is a nice little concession. The maneuvering system cyberware also allows you to perform dodges in midair. So instead of taking the Sandervesten, I take the Berserk mod. This feels more true to the character of Rebecca. When you activate it, you're going to get a decrease in weapon sway, an increase in melee damage, which doesn't do a lot, but also an increase to armor and resistance. You can also jump from a rooftop and do a big superhero landing, which is kind of fun to do. The last thing you get from a Berserker is 10% more health when you activate it. So this is going to be really about sustaining you in the fights. Now, because I was doing a Rebecca build, I started playing around with mods trying to get the different tattoos and skins and eye tones. You can spend a lot of time messing around with this. I think I installed maybe a half dozen different mods just to try and get that look. And maybe I'll do a video about it in the future. I don't know. But for now, let's take a look at this build in action.
You're fucked now.
If you've made it this far and you've enjoyed the video, please consider dropping a like and subscribing to the channel. And until next time, take care.